Hello and welcome back to our channel, where we cover the latest news and current events from around the world. Today, we're discussing the top 10 crises that the world can't ignore in 2023. Let's dive right in. Number 10. Somalia, a catastrophic hunger crisis. In 2023, it is estimated that over 5.9 million people in Somalia will require humanitarian assistance and protection due to the ongoing conflict and drought. The current level of acute malnutrition among children under the age of 5 in Somalia is at 15.2%, which is above the emergency threshold of 15%. Estimated 3.5 million people being severely food insecure, and an additional 2.7 million people being moderately food insecure. Locust swarms have also been devastating crops and vegetation in Somalia, further exacerbating the hunger crisis. Number 9. Ethiopia, drought and conflict torment tens of millions. The ongoing conflict in Ethiopia has led to a dire humanitarian situation, underscore with an estimated 5.5 million people in need of emergency food assistance. The country is also home to the world's largest population of internally displaced people, with over 2 million people forced to flee their homes. World Bank estimating that the conflict and COVID-19 pandemic have pushed Ethiopia into its first recession in over 2 decades. Inflation has also been a major issue, with prices for basic goods like food and fuel skyrocketing. Number 8. Democratic Republic of Congo, decades-long conflicts escalate. According to the UN, the conflict in the DRC has caused one of the world's largest and most complex humanitarian crises, with over 21 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. The country is also facing the world's second-largest food crisis, with 27.3 million people experiencing acute food insecurity. As of September 2021, there are over 5 million internally displaced persons and more than 893,000 refugees seeking safety in neighboring countries. The ongoing conflict has also resulted in widespread human rights abuses and violations, including sexual violence against women and children. Number 7. Yemen, failed truce could lead to renewed conflict. Yemen has been in a state of civil war since 2015, with multiple parties involved in the conflict. The UN has called it the world's worst humanitarian crisis, with millions of people suffering from famine and disease. In 2023, Yemen is still facing the threat of renewed conflict despite several attempts to broker a peace deal. The UN reports that as of March 2023, over 233,000 people have been killed in the conflict, and over 3.3 million have been displaced from their homes. Around 80% of the population, which is around 24 million people, require humanitarian assistance, and over 16 million people are food insecure. The country is also facing a severe cholera outbreak. The World Bank estimates that the economy contracted by 6.7% in 2022, and it is expected to contract by 1.9% in 2023. The unemployment rate is also high, with around 45% of the labor force unemployed in 2022. Number 6. Syria, years of war trigger a health crisis. Since the beginning of the war in 2011, more than half of the Syrian population has been displaced, leading to a massive humanitarian crisis. As of 2021, the conflict in Syria has resulted in over 500,000 deaths, with millions more injured and suffering from health issues. The healthcare system in Syria has been severely damaged during the conflict, with an estimated 70% of medical personnel having fled the country. An estimated 13.4 million people in Syria need humanitarian assistance, including 6.7 million internally displaced persons. Number 5. Afghanistan, an entire population is pushed into poverty. In Afghanistan, years of conflict and political instability have left the economy in shambles. The recent Taliban takeover has only added to the country's economic woes, with many businesses closing down and unemployment soaring. According to the World Bank, Afghanistan's poverty rate was around 55% in 2018, and it is projected to increase to 72% by the end of 2021 due to the ongoing conflict, the impact of COVID-19, and other economic challenges. The average per capita income in Afghanistan is around $550 per year, which is one of the lowest in the world. More than 18 million people require humanitarian assistance due to the ongoing conflict, displacement, and other issues. Number 4. South Sudan. Climate change compounds the legacy of civil war. According to the UN, over 7 million people, more than 60% of the population, are in need of humanitarian assistance in South Sudan due to the ongoing conflict and climate-related shocks. About 6.5 million people in South Sudan are facing severe food insecurity due to floods, droughts, and economic shocks. The World Bank estimates that South Sudan's GDP contracted by 4.7% in 2020 due to the pandemic and ongoing conflict, leading to higher poverty rates. These numbers highlight the severity of the situation in South Sudan, where climate change and conflict have combined to create a dire humanitarian crisis. Number 3. Burkina Faso. Armed group activity invites instability. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa that is facing a rapidly deteriorating security situation. The country has been plagued by a surge in armed conflict in recent years, with various extremist groups operating in the region. The violence has resulted in thousands of deaths, with over 1 million people displaced from their homes. The humanitarian situation in Burkina Faso is dire, with many people lacking access to basic necessities like food, water, and healthcare. Number 2. Haiti. Gang violence and climate change combine for chaos. Over 4.4 million people are estimated to be in need of humanitarian assistance in Haiti. More than 1.5 million people are experiencing acute food insecurity. Haiti's GDP is projected to shrink by 1.2% in 2023. In 2022, Haiti was ranked as the 170th least peaceful country out of 163 countries ranked in the Global Peace Index. According to the United Nations, there were over 19,000 cases of gender-based violence reported in Haiti between January and September 2021. These statistics illustrate the severity and complexity of the crises facing Haiti in 2023, as gang violence and climate change combine to create chaos and instability. Number 1. Ukraine. War creates world's largest displacement crisis. The conflict has resulted in the displacement of millions of people, making it the largest displacement crisis in the world. The situation in Ukraine is complex, with multiple factions involved in the conflict. Russian missile strikes could leave millions without water, electricity, and heating in winter. About 6.5 million Ukrainians have been displaced inside the country, while more than 7.8 million are refugees across Europe. The conflict shows no signs of abating, and the humanitarian crisis is only expected to worsen in the coming years. In conclusion, the world is facing numerous crises that require urgent attention and action. It's important for us to stay informed and engaged with these issues, and to support the organizations and individuals working towards solutions. Together, we can create a more peaceful, just, and sustainable world for all. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.